Hi guys, Stephen here. Just an update on one of the videos that I posted earlier about Mr. Sadorians Blend, a blend that I said was the one that I loved and that would make up my um, main blend for smoking. I've got a stash of it here. Don't know whether you can see it very well, but as you can see, it's sort of a nice mixture of tobaccos. I got in touch with the firm a couple of days ago because they'd taken it off their list along with a lot of other of Alfie's blends. And apparently they're not selling it anymore because I don't think they registered it. So unregistered blends aren't allowed to be sold. That came as quite a blow, really. But I've sent a message to them, sort of saying, do they intend to register it at any point? Do they intend to sell it again at any time? If not, how about releasing the recipe? And letting me know the ingredients and the percentages. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with, whether they are open to that or not. But I guess a lot of guys might be in that position, because those of us who use tobacconists from local areas or have found somebody online that sells something really nice in this country, I don't know about the States or Canada, they're suddenly saying, well, unfortunately we can't sell it. And I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I'm tempted to go and shoot somebody in government, but in England we don't do that kind of thing. I guess maybe the thing to do is to do what I've done and see whether they'll release the recipe either to the smoking community or see whether they'll register it. One of the reasons they might not be allowed to release the recipe is because the law might say, you can't do that kind of thing. Yesterday I went out shopping and unfortunately ran into this place called the Cuban Cigar Club in Newcastle. I say unfortunately because my wife was waiting at the door, so I threw my hat in first so she could clobber that. But I did just get one or two things. I got some Macbaron Classic Flake. Macbaron, sorry. As you can tell, I'm dyslexic with words. I got a nice one called Throat Cancer. Don't know whether you can see that. Oh no, it's called Kendall Mayer's Collection CH Flake, sorry. I don't know whether they think that's going to put us off, but all it makes me feel is I want to smoke. And the final one I got is Elizabethan Flake. I got one of each. I got two of each, one to put down and one to smoke. The other thing I got was a falcon pipe. I'll just show you that. That's the falcon I got. Now I know a lot of guys sort of say, well, falcon pipes aren't that good or they don't like them, but they're very, very popular in England. They sell quite a lot of those. And the final pipe I want to show you is the club pipe to a group that I belong to. You might be able to get a bit of an idea of the lovely colour of that. And it's called Antique Red Fire, I think. But the other thing is I decided to have a a honey-coloured stem put on it. And I think that looks quite nice. And as you might be able to see I broke it in last night. It received its first light. Well, I think that's all I'm going to say. It was just a quick update. I'm going to post something later because some of you have been saying you want to hear more stories from me about my life. I'm wearing my I Tried to Be Normal Once t-shirt, worst 2 minutes of my life. I'm a bit more stable than that, but not a lot, I don't think my wife thinks. I've been trying to think of various jokes, and the only one I can think of really is of a vicar, well, a Roman Catholic priest, a young priest. He'd been approached by his bishop because one of the older priests in the diocese there were rumours about him and his housekeeper. So the bishop arranged that the older priest invite the young priest to dinner, so the young priest could sort of see what was happening. And they had a good dinner and a nice talk, and the older priest gave some good advice to the younger priest. But when the younger priest had gone, the housekeeper came and saw the older priest and said, "I'm a bit worried. You know that solid silver serving spoon we had? That lovely ladle?" And the old priest said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, since dinner I haven't been able to find it." So the older priest thought, "Oh dear, poor young man." So he rang him up the next morning and said, "My young man, I'm not saying you did, and I'm not saying you didn't, but one of our soup ladles is missing, that lovely antique silver one. Have you any ideas about that?" And he said, "I'm glad you've rang." He said, "I'm not saying you did, and I'm not saying you didn't, but if you'd have slept in your own bed last night, you'd have found that soup ladle." Bye, folks.